among us have not received the recognition they deserve. They are our unsung heroes, students who bring good character, generosity of spirit, and a positive attitude to campus each day. They are important in defining who we are as a school and a community. They make a difference in the lives of their teachers and classmates, yet seldom receive the spotlight they deserve. Please allow me to introduce some of these students to you. I ask those named to stand and remain standing until I call the last name. Jace Kugia, Taylor Humai, Eugene Au, Jade Botello, Aaron Ivan, Reese Arakawa, Marissa Yonamine, Blaze Nakagawa, Jasmine Tokeshi, Evan Lum, and Courtney Otani. Thank you, unsung heroes, for your contributions to the community. Class of 2014. I'm going to share a bit of a story that will arrive at you, our subject of the day, in a bit of time. Now, when I was your age, on Saturday nights, I would stay up and either at 11:30 or midnight, I don't remember exactly, I would turn the TV to the PBS station. This was back when the world was transitioning from 4 channels, ABC, CBS, NBC, and PBS, to cable. And while my peers were likely watching Saturday Night Live on NBC, I would watch a show called Doctor Who. Doctor Who was a science fiction series that started in Great Britain in the 1960s, and its trademark is fairly campy plots with absurdly poor special effects. I think the special effects team mainly relied on tinfoil, fishing line, and whatever pots and pans they could borrow from their grandmother. They seemed especially fond of colanders. Because of this, the show asked the viewer to suspend disbelief and embrace the fantasy of the narrative based on the strength of the story and the characters, not because of a George Lucas-like presentation of an alternate reality. The Doctor Who universe was filled with infinite possibilities and complex problems for which there was always a solution provided by the Doctor with help from typically a teenage Earthling assistant. The 4th Doctor in the series, my Doctor Who, was an actor named Tom Baker who, when stymied by an obstruction, would predictably deploy his sonic screwdriver, which, if memory serves, looked an awful lot like a tire pressure gauge. He'd wave it around a bit, and voila, the obstruction would be overcome. As I said, the special effects were more laughable than special. There was, however, one prop on the show that managed to meet the demands of imagination and, in a way, hold the fantasy of the show together. This was the TARDIS. The TARDIS was a 1930s-style British police box, kind of a glorified phone booth that the police would use as a kiosk where the public could use to call the police. And the TARDIS, this British police box, was the Doctor's ship, the vehicle he used to travel through time. In the show, he is a Time Lord, and his adventures had him traveling through time to confront problems which often threatened the very fabric of the universe. Now, in addition to being able to travel through time, the TARDIS was also extra-dimensional, a little police box on the outside and a big entire spaceship on the inside. This idea very much caught my imagination, a box that could travel through time and that did not obey the restrictions of space. It was a place that broke all the rules that I was being taught in my high school physics class. The limit of what could be done with a vehicle like this was left only to one's imagination. I stopped watching Doctor Who when I went to college, and have never watched it again. For me, it was one of those experiences that you lose over time, in your memory, and there's been little to test whether or not I retained much from the show. That was until this year. This was a remarkable year at Iolani. We celebrated the past with our 150th anniversary, maintained our great tradition of excellence with championships and accolades in athletics, academics, and arts, and we looked to the future with the opening of the Sullivan Center. We opened the Sullivan Center, and I was fortunate to be one of the inaugural teachers with class space on the 4th floor. Beginning of the year, I vowed to walk up the stairs every day and said to my students with great self-righteousness, it was good for you to get the exercise of climbing to the 4th floor. Wow, those last 2 flights between the 3rd and the 4th floor are really tough, and I found myself slipping into the elevator with greater and greater frequency. One day, I entered the elevator, looked at the control panel, and saw some fabricated wood pieces that put together, "I am your elevator," with an image of Darth Vader. Curious and fun, I thought. Some time passed, and on another day, I entered the elevator and heard the music of the Pac-Man video game. That brought back some memories, and when I looked at the control panel, there was a very creative display simulating the Pac-Man interface. I thought, wow. And every time I went into the elevator and saw that, I smiled. Then on one day in February, just prior to Valentine's Day, the elevator door opened and the interior was entirely transformed. The light had a pink hue. All around, the walls were painted wood cutouts that made up a scene at a drive-in restaurant, and then standing there, in all of his 1980s glory, was a relief of John Cusack with his boombox from the movie Say Anything. The music was playing, and this was music from my young adult life. I had just walked into a small box and been transported to a time in my life through images and music with the associated memories flooding back. This was beyond wow. This was someone has created the TARDIS. The experience of this elevator moved me through both time and space, and it was magnificent. Well, of course, Valentine's Day came and went, and John Cusack's stay at Iolani was very short-lived, because in a few days, the elevator door opened, and there was the chairman of the board belting out classics. The New York City skyline with a wood relief of Sinatra and the pose from the classic Sinatra album cover. Now at this point, I had a pretty good idea who the engineer was behind our TARDIS, and I asked him what led to Sinatra. He said that Jack Cade, Papa Jack, had asked for it in response to the prior musical selection. He wanted music of his life, and I can only imagine how he was transported through time and space to great memories of people and events every time he took the trip from the 1st to the 4th floor. The elevator went through another incarnation, and then most recently, it opened its doors in honor of the class of 2014. A slideshow of images, iconic Iolani buildings, sentimental music, and a leaf for each member of the class with their name on it. My experience with our TARDIS had to this day been one in which it took me back in time. But on this day, as I took in the images and sounds, I was moved forward in time to consider the class of 2014, what I know of them, and could see for their future. Now last year on this occasion, I offered up a true classic of modern American poetry for the class of 2013. And throughout the year I was asked, how are you going to top that? My answer, of course, was that I'm not. I have no intention of going back to that well. I am an engineer, after all. But in this space, contemplating this class, I was once again inspired, visited by some strange muse that inhabits this campus to embrace the poetic. As I stood there, a haiku entered my mind about the class of 2014 and their future. But before I share it with you, class of 2014, I am happy to report that many of you and I now share a common experience, for I sent my haiku to Mr. Hackler for inspection. He was complimentary, helpful, insightful, and then, with as much kindness as possible, he corrected me and taught me something. Mr. Hackler observed that my poem was not, in fact, a haiku, for a number of reasons that he articulated, and I was a bit deflated. Then later in the day, I received an email from him, and he told me that although my poem was not a haiku, it was possibly a passable syndrome, but I should consult a scholar to make sure. Now at this point, I was happy that it could be called anything, even if I couldn't pronounce it, so I didn't consult another scholar and chose to rely on the same poetic license that I was afforded last year. And thank you, Mr. Hackler, for your help. Class of 2014, I offer to you this syndrome in your honor. Elevator up, enter, select, breathe, smile. Open, move forward. Inspired within our elevator, our Iolani TARDIS, this poem is not about our elevator. It is about what I have come to know and admire in you, the class of 2014. Elevator up. You are an ascending group. Collectively and individually, your optimism, confidence, and resilience, whether in sports, academics, or the arts, has you time and again achieving in that classic expression of team as a sum greater than your parts. At baccalaureate, when you talked about being first class, well, it takes something to embrace so many firsts. You have the willingness to embrace the new with vision and leadership. Each of you are a part of this overall quality, and I have no doubt that this characteristic, one that you have nurtured together, will remain with you throughout your lives and continue to elevate you and the world around you. Enter, select, breathe, smile. Class of 2014, you don't stand on the sidelines. You take action. You want to enter the game, and then you have shown that you have the courage to want the ball when the game is on the line. It's the right stuff. And if you don't know that reference, you have a postgraduate assignment to look it up. And even at Iolani, a place that can be truly hectic and overwhelming, I have seen many of you taking the time to enjoy the things that you do, to breathe and take in and be present with what you are doing. This is often the truest measure of success in life. Perhaps most importantly, throughout this, you smile. Every class has a kind of overall personality. In class of 2014, you exude joy. Open, move forward. You embrace transformation, forward movement. You have shown this to your school community in your actions and your leadership. I don't need to look any further than your truly innovative yearbook breakthrough. From the third page, and I quote, Iolani is shifting toward a more collaborative curriculum in which quiet students can break out of their comfort zones and transform into outspoken, confident leaders. Aspiring engineers can design complex 3D sculptures in the innovation labs, and eloquent speakers can lecture about their compelling discoveries in a professional, collegiate seminar room. We, as a community and institution, celebrate students' breakthroughs in every aspect of their Iolani careers in hopes of preparing them for their ever-changing future. Close quote. You, class of 2014, have the courage to open doors and move forward into new situations, and once there, look to learn, achieve, and build into the future. This is what I've seen collectively in who you are as a class, from the iPad pilot to the many projects in the Sullivan Center, your yearbook, the way you compete in sports, how you support each other, your performances, your drive to excellence, and interest in tackling real problems of our community and world. Elevator up, enter, select, breathe, smile, open, move forward. As I took this trip into the future in the Iolani TARDIS, I thought about the world in which you will live, the possible challenges you will face, and the myriad opportunities you will have. And what I know is that you have the stuff to be the people who will figure out how to thrive with climate change, to be the people who can work with others in a truly global economy, to get us to Mars. You're the people who will lead a more sustainable future. You are the people who have the potential to achieve these things and to do so with the joy that emanates from who you are as a group and as individuals. On behalf of your school, I need to thank you for this because you have brought these qualities to bear in your time at Iolani, and you have led positive change here. Many future classes will benefit from your optimism, courage, tenacity, and joy, those qualities with which you have conducted yourselves. Continue to be who you are, class of 2014. Our world needs world changers just like you, so that if the true TARDIS is ever invented, there will be a bright future into which it can travel. Thank you, and God bless you. Chair Janai Wall and the members of the Board of Governors, we, the faculty and administration of Iolani School, in consonance with the laws of the state of Hawaii and our graduation requirements, do certify that all students have satisfactorily completed the requirements for graduation and present the class of 2014 to be awarded their diplomas.
Joshua Michael Yoshio Adachi.
Guy Keone Alo Jr.
Brooke Lynn Rosasha Alcaran.
Reese Takeo Arakawa.
Jacqueline Mika Araki.
Brielle Natsumi Asato.
Eugene Chudong Ao, cum laude.
Arietta Elizabeth Aldafa.
Natasha Allison Bailey.
Aolana Kekai Malie Maria Kikuyo Banes.
Elizabeth Hoflick Barr.
Tyler Lee Tomoichi Beal.
Matthew Ryan B.T. Callahan, cum laude.
Jade Kauyo Napuale O Botello.
Emma Rachel Buchtal.
Ilana Rachel Buckenstein, cum laude.
Zachary Cole Busher.
Yeah, boy!
Cassandra Malia Booty Cruz.
Melanie Ann Carlisle.
Kristen Chiemi Carson.
Trent Kelly Ikua Kim Ming Cayetano.
Ricky Sun Il Chai, cum laude.
Chen Cheng.
Michael Sebastian Chen.
Nikolai Makahike Eugene Han Chin.
Amy Yao Cheng.
Carly Kiyomi Chikuma.
Angela Shimada Ching.
Megan Sachiko Junmei Ching, cum laude.
Kevin Cho.
Ashley Faith Kobili.
Logan Tanner Colby.
John Edward Cole Jr.
Owen Callaway Daniel.
Amnesty Ann Huapale Dawson.
Dior Murakami Derwenskis.
Christian John Donahue.
Caleb Kekoa William Duhay.
Trent Keoni Dai, cum laude.
Tristan J. Emmons.
Sarah Emiko Endo, cum laude.
Leilani Marina Atherton.
Celeste Jordan Castro Fajardo.
Alexandra Canessa Tealohilani Baltanu.
Hainoa Jordan King Poon Fong.
Jensen Ross Amigable Fontanilla.
Miles Ian Freeman.
Mari Elizabeth Freitas.
Travis Shigeo Fujimoto.
Chanson Oru Nohea Fukushima.
Claire Akemi Furukawa.
Christopher Kumakichi Gallagher.
Taylor Olohilani Brian Garcia Pereira.
Jordan Anthony Kauiokalani Genovia.
Joshua Alexander Judilla Gonzaga.
Clarissa Jin Gonzalez.
Lauren Chelsea Goto.
Sabrina Naomi Marie Govea.
Asia Una Grande.
John Henry Gregory V, cum laude.
Skylar Jordan Gross.
Sutter Ramirez Grun.
Sydney Lee Hong Halcrow.
Taylor Lie Hamai.
Chad Masaji Hanaoka, cum laude. color.
Ethan Christopher Hill.
Lauren Taylor Kanani Ho.
Leah Emily Robin Taylor Ho.
Cameron Smith Ho Ching, cum laude.
Akira Jonathan Holmes.
Scott Akira Hom.
Chanel Nikki Huang, cum laude.
Erin Michiko Iban.
Allison Michiko Ifuku.
Brittany Saolun Imada.
Joshua Hideo Inoue.
Christian Anthony Isham Jr.
Dylan Akio Nihei Itai.
Brandon Scott Ikaika Okalani Iwaishi.
Sungwoo Chung.
Austin Faishka Keola Omele Josiah.
Wataru Justin Kajima.
Preston Scott Kaoru Kamada.
Elizabeth Makinalani Kamaka.
Chase Chiune Kanikuni.
Brooke Kanoe Kaneshiro.
Christy Mieko Kaneta.
William Tetsumi Kawahara.
Melissa Chanel Keegans.
Courtney Anna Kennedy.
Megan Miyoko Kibota.
Spencer Harrison Kim, cum laude.
Daniela Y. Yeon Kim.
Sayin Sean Kim.
Reed Joshua Kimura.
Tiana Noni Marie Koch.
Kelsey Chizuko Kodama, cum laude.
Ruby Chizuko Nanyalani Komaka Ika Mohala Kodama.
Mitchell Masanobu Kochi.
Jace Kai Kugia.
Yuki Kuromaru.
Sari Maiko Meliang Kui.
Alyssa Kwok, cum laude.
Alyssa Wei Kang Lam.
Aaron Akira Kim Jong Lee.
Austin Toshihiro Lee, cum laude.
Jaylene Rose Jarvina Lee.
Way to go, baby girl! Go,
Kenneth
Jolie!
Lee, cum laude.
Stacy Jinyoung Lee.
Grace Wai-Ying Lei.
Timothy Taylor, Ka'eo Michaelani Leong, cum laude.
Frank Mataitoa Leota.
Kiana, Kealohalani Like Uehara.
Dana Elise Lim.
Nicholas Alistair Liu.
Maxwell Henry Wai-Ming Look.
James Todd Los Baños.
Emily May Lee Kaori Louis.
Evan Rio Ya Sum Lum, cum laude.
Landon Wuhang A.G. Lum.
Lin Cao Lu, cum laude.
Mark Hao Chu Ma.
Alyssa Cassandra Bernardo Massikel.
Taylor Ann Akie Masuda.
Flying Kikilani Katsuko Masutani.
Shuko Matsubara.
Jake Keith Matsuda Hirata.
Taylor Hirakawa Mao, cum laude.
Andrew Fumio McCoy.
Tyler Shizuo Yamashiro McKenna.
Kyle James Miller.
Matthew Yakchun Miwa.
Haley Kaukea Eiko Miaoka, cum laude.
Ashley Isai Mizuo.
Ryan Kiyoshi Mori.
Kekoa Alfred Morris, cum laude.
Casey Ann Morrissey.
Samuel Alexander Mukai.
Matthew G.Y. Murayama.
Nicholas Noah Nagata.
Blaze Michael Nakagawa III.
Grayson Isamu Nakagawa.
Megan Mieko Nakai.
Kristen Aiko Nakaoka.
Aaron Yuichi Nakasone, cum laude.
Daisuke Nakayama.
Austin Noah Ohira.
Michaela Kamaligi Okamura, cum laude.
Kara Jinwa Okazaki.
Taryn Kimie Anuhea
Osumi.
Courtney Mariko Yangwei Otani, cum laude.
Sarah Oyadamari, cum laude.
Johan Park.
Justin Ji-hoon Park, cum laude.
Christian Rosel Osorio Paulo, cum laude.
Dane Nohea Koa Perot.
Andrew Jarvis Fund.
Daniel Sean Pham.
Solomon Ikaika Okekai Philip.
Cameron Marcus Lagua Pudaket.
Stephen Joshua Dumalanta Rothai.
Sage Stephanie Kumakano o Iolani Resentes.
Rachel Momoy Vidal, cum laude.
Christina Shigeko Rivers, cum laude.
Kristen Kiku Saito.
Brandon Isao Saka, cum laude.
Alexander Kenji Sasaki.
Chelsea Joy Anna Sen.
Brendan Kyle Zito, cum laude.
Kayla Wailing Sito, cum laude.
Amanda Justine Sumako Shigeoka.
Chase James Tokyo Shimizu.
Tristan Melvin Ha'aheo Soriano.
Victoria Iolani Sprouse, cum laude.
Lansing Leoku Sugita, cum laude.
Azusa Jennifer Suzuki.
Karen Sayuri Suzuki.
Taylor Miyuki Tagawa, cum laude.
Zachary Mitsu Tagawa.
Jaren Kainoa Takuya Takaki, cum laude.
Mitchell Yosei Takeda.
Taylor Tsuruko Tamura.
Daniel Matthew Tan, cum laude.
Emily Kosei Tanaka.
Tiffany Bunling Tang.
Toshi Masaru Taniguchi.
Terry Keiko Teramai.
Tori Reiko Teramai.
Catherine Sachiko Teruya.
Lindsay Akemi Teruya.
Kevin Teruyoshi Togami.
Jasmine Chiaki Tokeshi.
Austin Wing Ho Chu Tong.
7, Kalina Lindsay Tong Woodall.
Tyler Sage Trulio.
Easton McKay Subata.
Bryce Masatoki Tsuruda.
Brett Lee Suzaki.
Adam Junichi Uehara.
Christine Rachel Ushijima.
Alex Yukiko Uema.
Elizabeth Vipea Vaya.
Jordan Taylor Valentine, cum laude.
Jordan!
Shay Kainella Okolani Villanueva.
Dustin Kiyoshi Wagner.
JC Toshiko Nanea Watanabe.
Sarah Kealokilani Nie Watanabe.
Jonah James Wataru.
Max Dominic Weber.
Catalin Lai Lin Wong.
Samantha Nicole Wong.
Summer Malia Yamada Scott.
Aaron Tokuro Yanagi.
Caitlin Yuk Jun Yi Cum Laude.
Charlotte Chirkui Young cum laude.
Miranda Xu Wen Yip Cum Laude.
Marissa Harumi Yonamine cum laude.
Kiana Kinuko York.
Carlin Mikiko Yoshina.
Matthew Scott Ewan.
Eric David Yugawa.
Sarah Heji Zhang. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2014.
God of wisdom, be with these new graduates whose hearts you have fashioned with beauty and grace. Thank you for those who love them and those who have guided them here at Iolani School for this joyous time. We send them now out into the world. Please call them to discovery of the wonders of creation. Help them to seek their truest self, to fall in love with wisdom, to claim integrity, joy, and service to others as the true measure of their worth. We send them forth to seek knowledge, but with your love as their guide, watch over them, protect them, and always walk by their side. Kaho o mai kai aro o te kua mana loa, ka makua ke keiki me ka pene he olele, me oko, me no ku, me oko aloha.